okay.
I wouldn't die already.
You're not gonna die. Please just hang on.
I can't take it anymore! Ah!
Get ready to step back into the eerie world of Hawkins. Join us as we discover every secret and reveal all the shocking twists about Stranger Things Season 5. What do you hope to see in the next chapter of this supernatural saga? Let's find out together. The season was officially announced on February 17, 2022, along with a letter from the creators Matt and Ross Duffer, who said they would conclude the series with a satisfying and epic ending. The season does not have a release date yet. It might not arrive until 2025 at the earliest. The only episode that has been written so far is called The Crawl. The season will be divided into 2 volumes, each with a different plotline. The first volume, titled The Hellfire Club, will take place in March 1986, 8 months after the events of Season 4. The second volume, The Final Battle, will occur in July 1986, 4 months later. The core cast of the show will return, including Millie Bobby Brown as Eleven, Winona Ryder as Joyce Byers, David Harbour as Jim Hopper, Finn Wolfhard as Mike Wheeler, Gaten Matarazzo as Dustin Henderson, Caleb McLaughlin as Lucas Sinclair, Noah Schnapp as Will Byers, Sadie Sink as Max Mayfield, Joe Curry as Steve Harrington, Natalia Dyer as Nancy Wheeler, Charlie Heaton as Jonathan Byers, Maya Hawke as Robin Buckley, and Priya Ferguson as Erica Sinclair. Before we explore more about Season 5, we have to recap all the previous seasons because there are some Easter eggs, references, and teasers that connects this to Season 5.
She misses her dad. We all do.
When you're different, sometimes you feel like a mistake.
You're gay.
Season 1 introduces a boy named Will Byers who disappears after encountering a monster from another dimension called the Upside Down. His mother, Joyce, his brother Jonathan, and the police chief Jim Hopper try to find him, while his friends Mike, Dustin, and Lucas search for clues with the help of a psychokinetic girl named Eleven who escaped from a secret laboratory. They discover that the laboratory, run by Dr. Martin Brenner, is conducting experiments on the Upside Down and its creatures, including the Demogorgon that took Will. Eleven reveals that she can access the Upside Down through her mind and accidentally opens the gate. She's also connected to Will and can locate him through a radio. Mike's sister, Nancy, and Jonathan's friend Steve join forces to kill the Demogorgon after it kills Nancy's friend Barb. Hopper deals with Brennan to enter the Upside Down and rescue Will, while Joyce communicates with him through Christmas lights. Eleven sacrifices herself to destroy the Demogorgon and save her friends. Hopper and Joyce find Will alive but infected by a slug-like creature. They manage to revive him and take him to the hospital. 1 month later, Will is back at home with his family and friends, but he coughs up another slug and has visions of the Upside Down. Hopper leaves some food in a box in the woods, implying Eleven is still alive. In the second season, 1 year after Will's return from Upside Down, he has visions of a giant shadow monster called the Mind Flayer that wants to take over Hawkins. He also finds a strange creature in his trash can, which Dustin names Dart and keeps as a pet. Dart turns out to be a baby Demogorgon, one of the many who escaped from the Upside Down through a gate under the Hawkins lab. The lab is run by Dr. Owens, who tries to contain the situation and help Will. Meanwhile, Eleven escapes from the Upside Down and lives with Hopper in a cabin. She learns she has a sister named Callie who can create illusions in her mind. She joins Callie and her gang of outcasts in hunting down the people who hurt them at the lab, but returns to Hawkins to help her friends. Mike, Lucas, Dustin, and Max, a new girl in town, team up with Steve and Nancy's brother Jonathan to fight the Demo Dogs and close the gate. Nancy and Jonathan expose the lab's secrets with the help of a conspiracy theorist named Murray. Joyce, Hopper, Bob, and Owens try to free Will from the Mind Flayer's influence, but the Demo Dogs kill Bob. Eleven arrives and uses her powers to close the gate, seemingly destroying the Mind Flayer. However, it is still alive in the Upside Down, waiting for another chance to attack. In the third season, in the summer of 1985, a new mall called Starcourt opened in Hawkins, attracting the attention of residents and some Russian spies. The Russians are secretly trying to reopen the gate to the Upside Down, a parallel dimension where a monstrous entity called the Mind Flayer lurks. The Mind Flayer takes control of Billy Hargrove, Max's stepbrother, and uses him to infect other people and create an army of hosts. Meanwhile, Eleven and Mike are dating, but their relationship is strained by Hopper's influence and Max's influence. Dustin returns from a science camp with a radio that he uses to contact his girlfriend Susie, but he also intercepts a Russian transmission. He teams up with Steve, Robin, and Erica to infiltrate the Russian base under the mall. Nancy and Jonathan investigate a strange case of diseased rats, leading them to discover the Mind Flayer's plan. Will senses that the Mind Flayer is back and wants to warn his friends. Joyce notices that the magnets in her house are losing their power and suspects something is wrong with the Upside Down. She joins forces with Hopper and Murray to expose the Russian conspiracy and stop them from opening the gate. The groups eventually converge at the mall, facing off against the Russians and the Mind Flayer. 11 loses her powers after being injured by a piece of the Mind Flayer. Hopper sacrifices himself to close the gate, while Joyce, Will, Jonathan, and 11 move out of Hawkins. In a post-credit scene, a Russian prison is shown to have a Demogorgon and an American prisoner. Season 4 is divided into 2 volumes, each with a different plotline. The first volume, titled The Hellfire Club, takes place in March 1986, 8 months after the events of Season 3. A series of mysterious teenage murders begin haunting Hawkins, and Eddie Munson, leader of the Hellfire Club, a Dungeons & Dragons group, becomes a prime suspect. Dustin, Lucas, Erica, Max, Steve, Nancy, and Robin investigate to clear Eddie's name and discover that the real killer is a powerful being from the Upside Down called Vecna. Meanwhile, Mike visits 11, Will, and Jonathan in California, where 11 tries to regain her powers with the help of Dr. Owens and Dr. Brenner. She also learns more about her past and her siblings at Hawkins' lab. The second volume, The Final Battle, occurs in July 1896, 4 months later. The gate to the Upside Down is reopened by a group of Russian spies under Starcourt Mall, and the Mind Flayer returns to take over Hawkins. The friends reunite to stop the Russians and the Mind Flayer with the help of Hopper, who survived his apparent death and was held captive in a Russian prison. 11 regains her powers and faces off against Vecna, who turns out to be her twin brother. The season ends with a climactic showdown at the mall, where Hopper sacrifices himself again to close the gate and save everyone. 11 moves back to Hawkins with Mike and joins his family. The first teaser trailer for Stranger Things 5 featured clips from previous seasons and a tagline, "The beginning of the Stranger Things story might hold the key to what comes next." This could imply that the season will explore the origins of the Upside Down and its connection to 11 and her siblings. It could also hint at some revelations from the stage play prequel Stranger Things: The First Shadow, which will debut on London's West End sometime this year. The second teaser trailer for Stranger Things 5 showed a glimpse of Hawkins in flames and a voiceover from Hopper saying, "We're not kids anymore." This could suggest that the season will be darker and more mature than previous ones, and that the characters will face serious challenges and losses. In the first teaser trailer, there is a shot of Eleven's room with a poster of The Goonies on the wall. The Goonies is a 1985 adventure comedy film that features a group of kids who go on a treasure hunt. It is also one of the inspirations for Stranger Things. There are also some references to other Netflix shows and original content in the trailers. For example, in the second teaser trailer, there's a shot of a TV screen showing The Crown, another Netflix original series. The season will deal with the aftermath of Season 4's finale, where Vecna, aka Henry, aka 001, opened a giant gate between the Upside Down and the real world. Hawkins has become a hellish place overrun by monsters and corrupted people. The friends will face their biggest threat yet, the Mind Flayer, who has returned with a vengeance. The season will also answer lingering questions about the Upside Down, such as its origin, purpose, and connection to 11 and her siblings. 11 will regain her powers and face off against Vecna, who turns out to be her twin brother. The season will be darker and more violent than previous ones. Some major characters could die while saving Hawkins and the world. The season will also feature lighter moments and nostalgic references to the 1980s culture. As we eagerly await the return of the Upside Down, will 11 and her friends be able to save Hawkins once again? And what new horrors await them? Stay tuned for more updates on Stranger Things Season 5, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for all the latest news. Plus, we want to hear your theories. What do you think will happen next? Comment below and let's dive into the mysteries together.